Professor Chadwick here, and in this video for DR213 Architectural Drafting 2, I am going to show you how to create a Dutch hip roof in Autodesk Revit. Here you can see I have a simple rectangular building, and I want to create a Dutch hip roof, which is basically going to cause me to do three things. One, create a lower hip roof. Then, secondly, I will create a couple of walls on the higher level. And then finally, I will create a gable roof on top of everything else. Before I jump in, I just want to familiarize myself with my levels. You can see that I have the first floor and the roof level here. So my first roof is going to go on the roof level. So I'm going to open up the roof plan, and then I'm going to create a roof by footprint. So I will select the roof drop down and select roof by footprint. Then I will choose the type of roof that I want. In this case, I'm going to go with the 10-inch asphalt shingle roof. Next, I'm going to specify my overhang, which is currently 2 feet, so I'll accept that. I also want this first roof to be a hip roof, so I'm going to turn on defines slope for all edges. And then for this roof, I want it to come up 4 feet. So for the cutoff level, instead of none, I'm going to choose the roof level, and then I'll enter in the value of 4 feet here. I'll make sure that the pick lines tool is enabled, and then I will go ahead and pick to the outside of each of these walls to create my first roof lines. Next, I want to adjust the slope, so I'm going to escape twice to get out of the pick walls tool, and then click and drag to create a window around all those lines. Then I will adjust my slope from 9/12 to just simply 6. So I'll put in 6 and enter, and you can see it updates to 6/12. Let's take a look at this roof. I'll go ahead and click finish. And I will choose attach to attach the walls to the roof. Next, I'll switch to 3D, and I can see my first roof here. So next, I want to create a couple of walls on this higher level. So remember, I'm 4 feet above the roof level here. So I'm going to go back to the roof plan, and I'm going to create a wall. And for the type, I'm going to choose the same type of wall I'm using down below, which is going to be the exterior wood siding on wood stud. I'm going to be selecting the edges of this roof, and that's the exterior side of these walls. So I'm going to change my location line to finish face exterior. And then remember, I'm now 4 feet above the roof level, so I'm going to change my base constraint. It's currently at roof. I'm going to go ahead and put in a 4-foot offset there. And it's going to create 10-foot tall walls. I'm going to adjust this to 6 foot. The truth is, eventually I'm going to attach it to the next roof, so that value isn't quite that important, but I'll go ahead and set it at 6 feet now. And now I'll go ahead and come in here and draw my walls. So remember, I should be lined up on the exterior surface. If you're not, you can tap the space bar to flip it. So I'll go ahead and create that wall there, and then come to the other side and create the wall there as well. I'll switch to 3D and see what I've got. You can see I've got a couple of little walls. Next, I want to create my gable roof on top of this one. One thing to note is that when I create this second one, I'm going to want both of these roofs to overlap a little bit. So that will adjust my roof offset as I create this second roof. So I'm going to go back to my roof plan. And then I'm going to begin my roof by footprint tool again. Once again, I want the same type of roof, the 10-inch asphalt shingles. I still want a 2-foot overhang. This time, though, I'm going to change a couple of things. First of all, I don't want a cutoff level, so I'm going to set this to none so that it'll go up to a peak. That grays out the offset value, so that value doesn't matter right now. But I want the bottom of this roof to be at 3 feet. So remember, my original roof was 4 feet tall, so this is going to overlap by a foot. Next, as I come in here to pick my walls, you can see I have a couple of walls here, but these are not walls, so I will not be able to select them. So I'm actually going to change to the pick lines tool. Now when I do that, it actually changes my overhang. So currently it's back to 0. I'm going to set that to 2 feet again. And then I can go ahead and click to offset to the outside in each case. Now you'll remember the first roof had a slope of 6/12, so I'm going to escape a couple of times to get out of that tool. Click and drag a window to select those 4 lines and adjust the slope to 6 and enter so that I get 6/12. I'll go ahead and escape to deselect these. Now at this point, I'm going to end up with another hip roof. So I'm going to go ahead and select the two vertical lines. I'll select one of them, hold Control, and select the other. And then I will remove the check from Define Slope. That will give me a gable end on each side. I'll go ahead and click Finish and Detach. Then I'll switch to 3D and take a look at it. And you can now see our two overlapping roofs here. And you can see why I had to make them overlap. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to get the overhang here properly. Now to clean this up a little bit, we can join these two roofs together. So I'm going to go to the Modify tab and select Join, and then select both roofs. And now you can see that it mostly cleans up those lines. You can still see them a little bit, but once I put in some realistic materials and if I do some rendering, those lines will be invisible. That concludes this look at creating a Dutch hip roof in Autodesk Revit.